Walking this much after 70 can add years to your life. There's something about walking that just feels natural, right? It's one of those things most of us do without giving it much thought. But what if I told you that simply walking could add years to your life, especially after you hit the age of 70? Sounds too good to be true? Well, it's not. Let's dive into why taking those extra steps could have a huge impact on your longevity. Imagine this. You're 72 years old, sitting on your porch, enjoying the breeze. You look out and see someone across the street, maybe in their late 60s, strolling down the sidewalk with a smile on their face. They look healthy, happy, and full of life. And as you watch them, you can't help but wonder, what's their secret? It's not some magic potion. It's walking. Yep, that simple activity we've been doing for centuries. But what is it about walking that makes it such a powerful tool for health as we age? How can it help you live longer? Well, buckle up because the data is there, and it's both surprising and motivating. First, let's talk about the science behind it. The truth is that walking is one of the best exercises for seniors, and it's not just about staying active. Walking can actually lower your risk of developing chronic diseases that often show up as we age, like heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. Studies have shown that people who walk at least 30 minutes a day have a significantly lower risk of dying prematurely. Let's break this down. One study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that older adults who walked for about half an hour each day reduced their risk of premature death by a whopping 19%. 19%! That's a pretty solid reason to lace up those shoes. And it's not just about preventing disease. Walking can also do wonders for your mental health. We all know that as we age, sometimes our minds start to feel a little foggy. Maybe it's not as easy to remember names or recall words the way we used to. It's part of the natural aging process, but it doesn't mean we have to just accept it. Regular physical activity, especially walking, can actually help keep that mental clarity sharp. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. Taking a simple walk could be just what your brain needs to stay in tip-top shape. Let's talk about a little thing called cognitive function. As we age, it's not unusual to experience a slowdown in brain function. It can start with those little moments of forgetfulness that you laugh off at first, but over time, it can lead to more serious conditions like Alzheimer's or dementia. But here's the good news. Regular exercise, particularly something as simple as walking, has been shown to help with cognitive function. There's research that backs this up, too. A study from the National Institute on Aging found that older adults who made walking a regular part of their routine had a lower chance of cognitive decline than those who were less active. In other words, if you're walking regularly, you're actively protecting your brain from the usual age-related decline. Not bad for a 30-minute stroll, right? But how does it work? Well, when you walk, your body gets your blood pumping, which in turn boosts circulation. And guess where that blood is going? That's right, straight to your brain. It's like giving your brain a nice little shower of oxygen and nutrients. This increased blood flow helps to keep your brain cells active and firing. Think of it like a little mental workout. When you walk, your brain isn't just idly sitting by. It's engaged and firing up those important areas involved in memory, learning, and problem solving. In fact, a study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that older adults who walked regularly had better memory and faster processing speeds than those who didn't. You could think of walking as your daily dose of brain food. The more you walk, the more you nourish your brain. And let's not forget about those lovely endorphins, the feel-good chemicals our brains release when we exercise. We all know how good it feels to get moving, but did you know that walking is a great way to release those endorphins? They can work wonders on your mood. If you're feeling down or stressed, a nice brisk walk can give you that little mental pick-me-up you need. I'm not talking about a marathon-level, sweat-inducing sprint here. A simple walk around the block, even if it's just 15 minutes, can do the trick. You'll be surprised at how much better you feel afterward. In fact, I've had friends tell me that a quick walk always clears their head when they're feeling overwhelmed or anxious. It's like hitting the reset button on their day. The best part? You're not just giving your body a boost when you walk, you're giving your brain a power-up too. So, it's kind of like a 2-for-1 deal. You're improving your physical health while keeping your mind sharp and happy. Who knew that something as simple as walking could do so much for both your body and your mind? So next time you're feeling a little sluggish mentally, just lace up those shoes and take a walk. You might find it's exactly what you needed to feel refreshed and focused again. Now let's talk about something else that really matters: muscle and bone strength. As we get older, we all start to notice a few changes. Maybe you've caught yourself thinking, wait, wasn't I stronger a few years ago? Or how did I lose all that flexibility? It's totally natural. As we age, we tend to lose muscle mass, and our bones become a little more fragile. That's just part of the aging process. But here's the silver lining. There are things we can do to slow this down and even reverse it a little. And guess what? Walking is one of the best things you can do to help maintain muscle and bone strength. It's like a hidden superpower for your body that doesn't require fancy equipment or an expensive gym membership. Think about this. As we get older, balance becomes a big issue. You've probably heard horror stories of older adults tripping and falling, sometimes resulting in broken bones or worse. It's a major concern, and rightfully so. But here's the good news. Walking can help prevent those falls. Walking strengthens the muscles in your legs, especially the muscles in your thighs, calves, and hips. When these muscles are strong, they help you maintain balance and keep you steady on your feet. So, the more you walk, the more you're reinforcing your body's natural balance system. It's like building a foundation for a house. Strong legs mean a sturdy base to stand on. I'll tell you a quick story. My Aunt Carol, who's in her mid-70s, used to worry a lot about falling. She's always been independent, but there came a point where she started to feel a little wobbly when she stood up or walked on uneven ground. It wasn't anything drastic, but the concern was there. So one day, she decided to try something simple: walking. Nothing crazy, just a brisk walk around her neighborhood a few times a week. After a couple of months, she noticed something incredible. She felt steadier. Not only was she able to walk longer without feeling fatigued, but her legs felt stronger, and she was much more confident moving around. It wasn't magic, it was just the result of consistent walking. It really is that simple. But here's where it gets even better. Walking doesn't just help strengthen muscles, it also helps improve bone density. As we get older, our bones naturally lose density, which makes them more prone to breaking. This is especially true for women after menopause, when the risk of osteoporosis increases. But guess what? Weight-bearing activities like walking are a great way to help prevent this. When you walk, you're engaging your bones in a weight-bearing activity, which encourages bone growth and helps maintain their density. It's like giving your bones a workout every time you step outside. Even just walking on slightly uneven surfaces or up small hills can provide your bones with a little extra resistance, which helps keep them strong. To put it into perspective, imagine your bones as the structure of a building. Over time, without any sort of reinforcement or support, the building starts to weaken and deteriorate. But by walking, you're basically providing your bones with the support they need to stay strong and resilient. It's a simple act, but the benefits are huge. The best part? You don't need to go overboard. You don't need to walk for hours or climb giant hills. Even a moderate walk, like 30 minutes a day on flat ground, can make a big difference. So, whether you're walking around the block or venturing out on a scenic trail, remember you're giving your muscles and bones a natural workout, helping you stay strong, steady, and ready to take on whatever the day throws your way. Plus, you get to enjoy the fresh air while doing it. What's not to love about that? But, of course, all of this doesn't just happen overnight. It takes consistency. Just like anything in life, the more you walk, the better the benefits. And don't worry, you don't need to walk a marathon every day to reap the rewards. Even a brisk 30-minute walk can be enough to get the heart pumping and the muscles working. Heck, you don't even have to be super fast about it. The key is the regularity of the activity. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, adults over 65 should aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate-intensity aerobic activity, like brisk walking, every week. That's about 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And if you're walking more than that, you're only doing yourself a favor. But let's get real for a second. It's easy to read about all these benefits and think, that sounds great, but I don't know if I can do it. You might have some aches and pains. Your knees might not be what they used to be. Or maybe, like many people, you found it hard to start a consistent exercise routine. And I get it. Starting something new can feel daunting, especially when you're thinking about something as simple as walking. But here's the thing. Walking is one of the easiest and most accessible activities. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need fancy equipment. All you need are some comfortable shoes and the will to start. Here's how you can start small. First, focus on consistency rather than intensity. If you're not used to walking, begin with short distances. Even a 15-minute walk around the block will give you some of the benefits. If you're feeling adventurous, try walking for a little longer or pick up the pace a bit. Slowly increase your walking time until you're hitting that magic 30-minute mark. Start by setting a simple goal, like walking every day after lunch or before dinner. Soon enough, it'll feel like second nature. Another thing to consider is how you can make it more enjoyable. Walking doesn't have to be boring. You can listen to music, podcasts, or even audiobooks while you walk. Take different routes to keep things interesting. Walk with a friend or family member so you can catch up and chat. You'd be surprised at how much more enjoyable a walk can be when you're distracted by a good conversation or your favorite tunes. And hey, if you find a scenic route, even better. Nature has a way of boosting our mood and making the whole experience feel like a mini adventure. So far, we've talked about how walking helps prevent disease, keeps your muscles and bones strong, and boosts your mood and brain function. But here's something else that's pretty cool. Walking can also improve your sleep. As we get older, sleep tends to get a little trickier. Insomnia, waking up frequently, or just not feeling rested is common. But guess what? Regular physical activity, like walking, can help you sleep better. According to a study published in the Journal of Sleep Research, older adults who engaged in physical activity, like walking, reported better quality sleep compared to those who didn't. So if you're struggling with sleep, a brisk walk might be just the ticket to help you drift off faster and stay asleep longer. Now let's talk about something that I know we all care about: maintaining independence. As we age, one of the biggest fears many of us have is losing our independence. We want to continue doing the things we love and not rely on others. Walking plays a huge role in preserving that independence. The stronger and more mobile you are, the more you'll be able to do on your own. By walking regularly, you're improving your flexibility, mobility, and overall strength, which means you're less likely to need assistance in your daily life. Plus, walking allows you to maintain your social life, whether you're running errands, meeting friends, or simply walking to the local coffee shop. It's all about keeping yourself active and engaged in the world around you. And here's the thing, it's never too late to start. Seriously, even if you're over 70 and haven't been walking much, it's still worth it. In fact, one study showed that older adults who started walking later in life still experienced significant health benefits, including better cardiovascular health and increased longevity. So, even if you're just getting started now, don't worry about the past. What matters is today. Every step counts, no matter when you begin. Now that we've covered all the amazing benefits of walking, I'm sure you're probably thinking, okay, I get it. Walking is great for me. But how much should I actually walk to get all these magical benefits and add years to my life? Let's be real for a second. It's not about suddenly becoming a marathon runner or walking miles every single day. The simple answer is, as much as you can, within reason. Experts agree that the more active you are, the better, but let's break it down a bit more, because that sounds a little too vague, right? Here's the good news. You don't have to go overboard to see results. The sweet spot for most people, whether you're in your 70s or just want to get ahead of the game, is around 30 minutes a day. That's it. Just 30 minutes of brisk walking to get those heart-pumping, muscle-strengthening, mood-boosting benefits. And no, you don't have to be in a rush to get that 30 minutes all at once. If 30 minutes feels like too much in one go, break it up. Maybe go for 2 15-minute walks, one in the morning and another after dinner. Or even 3 10-minute walks throughout the day. It all adds up. And that's the key: consistency. Walking regularly is what makes the magic happen, not just walking a lot all at once and then crashing for the week. Here's the thing. Sometimes people get intimidated by the idea of committing to a certain amount of time. But let me share a little story to put it in perspective. My friend Linda, who's in her late 60s, was always a little skeptical about exercise. She'd hear about all these fitness programs or workouts, and it just seemed like a hassle. But then, she started walking. At first, it was just a short stroll around the block after lunch, about 10 minutes, nothing too crazy. But soon enough, that 10 minutes became 15, then 20. And before she knew it, Linda was walking half an hour a day. And here's the best part, she didn't even notice how it snuck up on her. It wasn't about forcing herself into a rigid routine. It was about taking small steps, literally, and making it a part of her day. Now, Linda feels more energized, has noticed she sleeps better, and has even dropped a few pounds. Most importantly, she feels great. Another thing to keep in mind is that walking is flexible. You don't need a set route or even to follow a strict pace. One day, you might feel like walking briskly through your neighborhood. Another day, you might feel like taking it slow and savoring the scenery. As long as you're moving, you're making progress. I'll tell you, I've seen so many people get caught up in the idea that they need to push themselves to the limit. But let's be honest, no one wants to spend an hour every day gasping for breath just to feel good. Keep it fun. Walk with a friend, listen to your favorite podcast, or even take your dog along for the ride. The goal is not just to complete the walk, but to enjoy it and make it something you look forward to. And here's the best part. You don't have to become a fitness guru to see the benefits of walking. You can ease into it. If you're not used to much physical activity, it's okay to start small and gradually build up. The key is that consistency matters. Don't get hung up on the perfect walk. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. You'll be amazed at how quickly those small, consistent steps will add up to something really powerful. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your shoes and get moving. In short, walking might just be the easiest, most effective thing you can do to improve your health and add years to your life, especially after 70. It's an activity that keeps your heart, brain, muscles, and bones healthy, while also giving your mental health a boost. And the best part? You don't need any fancy equipment, and you don't need to be a marathon runner. Just put on your shoes and step outside. Start small, keep consistent, and before you know it, you'll be walking your way to a longer, healthier life. So, what are you waiting for? Your next step could be your healthiest one yet.